AMC Entertainment transfers the majority of its equity investment in Hycroft Mining Holding Corporation to Sprott Mining for a net consideration of $24.1 million. AMC converted the majority of its Hycroft investment into cash, receiving an amount approximately equal to the original capital invested in the transferred securities. AMC retains both an equity investment and warrants for more than 1 million shares to participate in the ongoing success of Hycroft. The transaction reallocates capital towards attractive opportunities in AMC's core theatrical exhibition business. And finally, the transaction is expected to generate an accounting profit of $7.9 million in the fourth quarter ending December 31st, 2025. Guys, AMC dropped a press release explaining that they sold their stake in HYMC. A couple of things to clear up that are confusing for everyone who is reading through the press release is that the transaction is expected to generate profit of $7.9 million, yet they say that they broke even also in the press release. So what is it? When they bought, and I explain this very simply, this is an accounting loss that shows as an accounting profit. In other words, when AMC bought into HYMC, they lost about $7.9 million or so due to accounting fees, etc., whatever behind that. So their net book value into HYMC was about $16.1 million. Now, when they finally sold, that accounting profit has come back up to almost break even their net value that they spent, right around $24 million. So very simply, they're showing an accounting profit, yet a break even on their investment, which in other words, they just broke even. That is very simple. They just broke even. And absolutely no hate to the confusion, right? Because they're wording this in a particular way where it's very confusing, especially for retail investors that assume they made a profit of $8 million. They did not. They basically broke even. However, I believe that they did sell at a very good time at HYMC's chart, right around $12. It's up 610% since its low in November of 2023. Given they didn't buy at the best time, they did sell at a good time, in my opinion. Now, it's not over. Their investment isn't over. You can see right here, AMC retains an equity investment as well as retaining warrants for more than 1 million shares to participate in the ongoing success of Hycroft. So if Hycroft continues to go higher, and there are plenty of things that you could look at, gold at all-time highs, silver at all-time highs, possible tensions with China and minerals issues, right? All of that stuff. There's a very good probability that Hycroft could go higher, and AMC still has an investment. So they're de-risking. They took their risk off the table, and it's basically now a free trade. I see this as a good deal, good news. Maybe it'll push the stock up Monday, and this leads me to talk about in a very important week that we have, which we'll cover tomorrow. But long story short, we have GameStop earnings Wednesday, which will line up with AMC's possible point of interest that you can see right here in the chart, that we have a spike right here Thursday, December 11th, and then possibly that overnight, actually, it looks like Wednesday, December 10th. So a sympathy move alongside GameStop. Now, if AMC does break this descending resistance, there are two possible places that it can go. One is up only 10%, testing about 255. That's about 10 to 12%. Or more likely, you have about a 38% gain, testing the top of this descending resistance up here at $3.15. Unfortunately, I don't believe we hit the 385 level this week, but it's possible that would be a 70% gain. In correlation with GameStop's chart, if GameStop has a blowout earnings, we are also on a very important point of interest. This is coincidentally a 38% gain would hit that exact threshold where the warrants trade at $32 from where we're trading at right now, 23 to 32, about a 38% gain. That would reject right on those warrant levels, avoiding early exercising, which could be a possible temporary top or so. Is that the max we're going to head to? Maybe, maybe not. If we did see that 70% move on AMC, and we saw a 70% move on GameStop, this coincidentally lines up with that Tripwire at 38.81, where we could possibly get rejected right around this region, and they try to push us back lower. So you have a couple of caps. If AMC goes any higher than its $3.85 zone and it hits more of its macro POI, 150% or so, up to 560 or something along the lines of that, and things get crazy. As soon as GameStop breaks this tripwire at 38.81, it's basically game over for shorts, and you're gonna go to obscene highs, surging past $60. I also believe that on this point of interest coming into Monday, we are and should be on Roaring Kitty Watch or Kitty Watch coming into this week. I don't say that every week, and we don't need him to tweet, but again, he comes out when we're on a possible point of interest to go higher. So watching very carefully for next week. We have a very, very important week coming. What is going on with the Warner Bros. Netflix deal? And then what did Aron talk about? So Warner Bros., Netflix, Paramount. Netflix is acquiring Warner Bros. For about $72 billion or so, excluding basically their cable channels. Why excluding their cable channels? Warner Bros. Couldn't sell their cable channels because it is a dying industry that Netflix nor Paramount wants. Now, this is, however, the main concern is that this is Warner Bros. Main revenue stream. However, that part of the industry is dying, in Netflix opinion, as well as Paramount's opinion. So they only want the other stuff. They only want the main stuff, the main streaming stuff for the future. Now, Paramount is coming in and they're saying, how are you partnering with Netflix when we had a higher bid? That doesn't make any sense. You're only partnering with Netflix because you're favoring Netflix, and Netflix, if they get this deal, is going to become a monopoly. It's not fair to the other companies like ourselves. That's basically what Paramount was saying. So Paramount is not only salty, but they are also claiming that Netflix would be a possible monopoly, and they're also claiming that they outbid Netflix, yet Warner Bros. Is declining their offer. So this is an important and entertaining deal, to say the least, to see how this is going to go through. We know that Netflix is also trying to capture not only this part of the industry, but partnering slightly with AMC, and AMC possibly has more partnerships coming in the future. Elon Musk also tweeted a couple of popcorn emojis on this exact tweet that I'm quoting, that Paramount is now looking to launch a hostile bid over Warner Bros. They feel their $30 a share all cash offer is higher than what Netflix offered in terms of cash stock and the value of the cable business spinoff. So we'll see what happens with this deal coming into the new week. But if Paramount takes this deal, I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix tries to make some sort of further deal with AMC, as Aron has already mentioned. Now, take a look at this. Trump will not allow the Netflix/Warner Bros. Acquisition to be realized. Earlier this year, POTUS said that preserving the movie theater industry was a matter of national security, which I do remember. And at CinemaCon in 2023, Aron said that AMC would not be partnering with Netflix regarding theatrical releases. But he said, I know why, but I'm not going to talk about it at this time. The reason? Because he knew Paramount was going to snatch Warner Bros. Away from Netflix. As Lego Group called it, Warner Bros. Is the first brick buster. AMC selling off their Hycroft position is and always was part of the plan. Now, with this tin, whether it's true or not, what we do know is that Netflix has partnered with AMC to show Stranger Things the next season in theaters, and Aron hinted at possible further partnership with Netflix. Now, the biggest idea I'm working on, in quotes from Aron, I can't talk to you about not till January or February, but if we can pull this one off, this is a really amazing idea, but we haven't pulled this off yet, so I can't talk about it. This was in September of 2025, which Aron says not until January or February they're going to announce this. This also leads me to say that if AMC rejects off of 310, 385, 517, 565, $7, right? Whatever it rejects off of, and you might say, and if GameStop rejects anything sub 90, you might say, lottery stocks, this isn't a squeeze, this is bullshit. Well, that would mean that these are their micros, and then coming into January and February with the possible AMC news, these would be their macro point of interest. So you see a small blip now repricing the companies, and then you see them short squeeze as they trade higher with more pressure on shorts, issues with collateral, things like that coming into the new year. So if we see a micro, we see a macro January, February, always a possibility. One thing I wanted to note as well, I'm going to roll this clip for you so that you can see what Aron said. It's only 44 seconds, so watch the clip. I do believe, what did I have to say? I had something else to say about these. It was on the tip of my tongue, but I ended up forgetting what I was about to say. But we're watching GameStop's earnings coming into the week. We're watching the Fed decision, which we'll talk a little bit more about a prep update video tomorrow. I'm going to roll the Aron clip for you right now really quick.
The biggest idea I'm working on, I can't talk to you about.
Really? Oh, yeah, you can. We're amongst friends.
Not till January or February.
Super Bowl?
No, it's not sports.
Okay.
But if we can pull this one off, this is a really amazing idea. But we haven't pulled it off yet, so I can't
The
talk
Taylor Travis wedding. Call Scott Swift right now.
One thing I learned about, the one thing I never joke about is Taylor Swift.
Oh, God. All right. You and me both.
I just am very reverent, as she properly deserves.
All right, Adam, Aron, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Also, guys, aside from all of that information that I provided you, this truly made my day yesterday. There was plenty of people, I believe already like 4 or 5, has sent me screenshots that I was their top channel watched throughout the year of 2025. That honestly feels so good, and I appreciate all the support that you guys show here on the channel. Being the top channel watched from your YouTube is insane. Whether it's top 1 or top 5, truly a blessing that I have your guys' support here on the channel, and I honestly couldn't make these videos without you guys. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you so much for everyone who is joining the Discord. We're getting a lot of new members, and I appreciate all the members popping in. That is the top link in the description, or you can join through LaunchPass. It's like the 3rd or 4th link. Both will take you to the same Discord server, whatever you would prefer, LaunchPass or WAP. I personally have more of a setup with LaunchPass where they have great customer support. I just email some of the team members and they get things resolved. I'm sure WAP does too, but I haven't really had to deal with any issues over there. Make sure to add the custom indicator, 7 days for free. If you don't like it, just remove it. Don't pay the subscription. That's the second link in the description, my custom indicator as well. It's for pattern detection and forecasting. It detects patterns and forecasts what the stock might do. But that is it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts on AMC HYMC investment and their sale. Let me know your thoughts on the Warner Bros. Netflix Paramount issue that is going on, as well as your thoughts on the possible gap ups that's coming this week for GameStop and AMC. Oh, that's what I was going to say. If we have a micro this week where AMC runs 38% or 70% and GameStop runs 38% or 70%, if you are in call options, and this isn't a recommendation, that is still hundreds and possibly thousands, depending on your out of the money contracts, your calculations like that, right? The Greeks, whatever. That's still hundreds of percentages or thousands of percentages of gains on your possible investment. So that's still something to note, as well as it's not a squeeze. You could be having a very good game plan, which we will have in the Discord. We've been adding more GameStop and AMC calls throughout the last couple of weeks, and we are very green on those. That is it. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. God bless. Lottery stocks out.